This is fun, man. This is a nice spot. Like it.
Yeah, it's I've talked about it before on the podcast that the Schneckloth family that owns, it's called the Acres out here in an event center, and they said, hey, we're not doing anything on Wednesdays. Why don't you come shoot out here?
Heck yeah.
So
That's awesome, man. Nice
really
seeing
well.
you again, man.
It's good seeing you too, and believe it or not, we're rolling.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do it.
Another Campfire Conversations. This is Taylor Stanton, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the window about how I do interviews, because I did zero research on this.
Okay.
And there's a reason for it, because that way I can ask the questions directly from you as opposed to going and finding out myself, you know, what the heck's going on or doing research and getting it wrong.
Sure.
So anyway, you have started a soccer team.
Yes.
In Council Bluffs called the CB Captains.
Yep.
Now, tell us a little bit about the team. What is this? Games you're playing, that kind of thing. Just give us kind of an outline of it.
Sure. So, I mean, we started out as a, you know, we're going to be a developmental team for, you know, players to go and grow into other positions, hopefully professional positions. We have also, you know, we look to work with the UPSL this coming spring. You know, we've had a great time with it so far. We're doing some local stuff just to keep the boys in shape. You know, it's been a really interesting path, but at the same time, you know, it's been, for the most part, productive and positive. I've really enjoyed the process with these guys so far.
Where are the players coming from?
They're coming from local. That's it. You know, I mean, whenever I moved up here, I noticed that there was a lot of local talent that was just kind of thrown to the side, and it frustrated me because there is a lot of local talent here in the Omaha Metro, CB, Omaha, you know, even further west if you choose. But one of the cool things about it was, you know, you saw this untapped talent, and you have very, very cordial players. You have yes sir, no ma'am, yes sir, or no ma'am, yes, no ma'am, you know, things like that. Yeah. And that's something that a lot of professional clubs are looking for, you know, looking for people that are going to buy into a system and not try to, you know, try to rummage things around. But the things that I noticed here is, you know, we have some of the greatest talent, but just not looked at for some reason or another.
So before we get into how all of this came together, what's your background? You said you moved up here.
Yep.
So where is down there?
So I've lived quite a few places. You know, Denton, Texas, where I went to school for the primary school. I went back and forth between Omaha area and back down there. Lived in Austin. You know, lived in Tulsa. Lived in quite a few really interesting places, especially up and down this little line that we have. And you know, it just seems that those places already have organizations that are working with them. So, you know, whenever I came up here, I started looking, and I noticed a void. And I started with Omaha City Football Club. It's about 10 years ago now, man. It's been a while. But so we started with that, and then Union Omaha came into town, kind of had a little bit of a mess with that. What they're doing over there in Omaha is great. I mean, I'm not knocking them by any means, but what we've noticed is there is still a lot of people that are not getting noticed in this area. So we want to promote from within, you know, grassroots mentality, just like they do in Europe. We want to have a fully functioning club. You know, we want to have youth. We want to have arena or futsal or futsal, I mean, and of course the game that we all love, 11v11.
So this is semi-pro.
Yes.
Which means the players are they still considered amateur in that way?
Yes. So what we would be doing is we would pull from the college ranks, and yes, they would still have the amateur status. So if they want to play collegiately and with us,
so they can do both then?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can play with us in the spring and play with your collegiate, university, whatever, in the fall.
Your love for soccer, where did that come from?
Probably my dad. You know, my dad, he played for Chicago. He was a great player. Unfortunately, his career got shut down short by a driver that was under the influence. So, I mean, you know, that happens. I mean, life happens, right? Say love it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, that is where I definitely got my growth, and I got to see what it actually took to be a professional. And I wasn't as good as him, I don't think, in my opinion. I mean, he was a great player. He's a big body, big build, and he could take care of business. But working with him was one of the coolest things that I've ever got to do as a player.
Now, for your background personally, where have you played?
I played Tulsa, Phoenix, Dallas area. A little bit up here. Whenever they had their first semi-pro club come out of here, the Fury or the Fuego. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was kind of the growth that I, started as a young person, noticing that this talent pool has just been unnoticed. I've been with Fulham's Academy. I got called up to the United States men's national team for beach soccer.
Soccer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's new.
Yeah.
I'm a sports guy. I know a lot. I have broadcast more sports than I can, I can't count how many games.
Okay.
I've never seen beach soccer.
It gets big. It's a big. It's a large product. I mean, you play in a World Cup. You play in the Olympics.
They have beach soccer in the Olympics.
I'm pretty sure they have it in the Olympics. Maybe
Okay.
not anymore, but I'm pretty sure they've had it, if not have it now. But so the beach soccer, man, it was, the most fit I've ever been in my life was playing beach soccer.
Yeah, you're not running on a hard surface.
Right, you're moving around. I mean, tactically it's way different than the 11v11 that we have here in CB, but, I wouldn't mind if we could get a beach around here. That'd be a great thing for everybody, right? It'd be fun.
Well, there's a few beach volleyball courts,
Right.
but that's not big enough for for soccer.
Not yet. Well, I mean, it's a smaller field,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's entertaining. I like watching it. It shows up on ESPN occasionally, here and there.
All right, let's talk about you wanting to actually put together a team and be a team owner. I mean, where did that thought start that you thought this was the direction you wanted to go?
So, I'm not necessarily an owner. I help facilitate a lot of things for the club.
Okay.
We work together as a whole. The players, the staff, we have a head coach, assistant coach, we have a person that does our like fan wear and things like that. But one of the things that was interesting was, finding the need, and also just me not being able to play anymore because luck of the trade, you have issues. So I've grown into an age where I've noticed the need, and I think we definitely have a good go at this. This is going to be a very positive thing, I think, for the community as well.
When did this team that you have now, when did practice start? It looked like you had some sort of game over at UNO last weekend.
Yeah,
so, talk about that a little bit.
So we started with tryouts. We were, the UPSL and us were working, the league that we're planning on working with, we were, working together trying to get a fall season. So instead of being late to the show, we decided to start working towards that. We didn't know that wasn't going to come to form, but, these things happen in this game for some reason or another. The region that we're in, we have bad weather. Because they still have leagues going on in the southern part, Oklahoma, Arkansas, lower parts of Missouri, lower ends of Kansas. So, those are things that we do run into, but we thought that we were going to have a league to work with this season. So that's one of the main reasons why we started so early. But at the same time, we're learning from these processes as well. So I think, it's a very positive thing that we're doing, but we do have hurdles that we have to deal with also.
So shooting for spring for an actual season.
Yes.
Got to play somewhere.
Yeah.
Has that been finalized? Are you still working on it?
I wish we could get some things going a little bit more with the city. I'm not trying to dog on the city that we're with. I love this city. Like I said, I'm from way far away, and I chose to stay here.
Right.
So this city's one of my favorite cities I've ever lived in. Minus overseas. I think that this city, and as a whole, has a lot of positives. I hear other people's murmurs about negatives, but if you want to have a really fun place to live, something that is in the growth spurt right now, I believe, we've got casinos if you want to go gamble. I mean, come on, man. We have all kinds of cool stuff over here. So I think one of those things is like we saw the need. I love it. I love the city. If I didn't love this city or the lady I'm with, obviously, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I do love this space. This is I mean, look at where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And this is just 5 minutes outside of town, 10 minutes outside of town?
Yeah, just about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to the east, off Railroad Avenue. I think we have a squirrel fight going on. I think that's what
that's
the sound is.
That's awesome.
They're not real happy over there.
They got to get after it too, you know what I mean? They're trying to figure out where their space in this
tiny little
place.
ball over there, and they're kicking it back and forth. But,
yeah. So yeah, like we played at Caniglia, so we're trying to expand the brand. We're trying to put these players in a position that they can see what their potential is. And we've had a couple rough spouts the past couple days out, you know what I mean? But that happens. I mean, this is a game. It's not meant to be perfect. This is a game that's meant to try and perfect on your strong suits and work on your weak suits as well. And this, this little situation that we're in is part of sport. I mean, we haven't been as successful as we want to be, but at the same time, we're working towards a greater good.
So right now with games, is there like an organized season going on right now, or are these just exhibition games, or what's going on?
We're splitting it between both. We do have options to go play against some of the UPSL teams before the bad weather comes, but we are doing exhibition matches at UNO. I mean, we're doing exhibition matches at Kern Park, and we're also doing a city league that's honestly, in my opinion, very tip top. I wouldn't mind pulling some players from there. I think that'd be, I think they would fit in well if they can. If they can't, that's sport as well.
So Kern, that's kind of a hidden gem, I think. I like to go up there and walk around the cinder track.
I love it.
And it's a beautiful field.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like you have a lot of extras up there. There's no lights. No. There's the power has to be a bit of an issue. If you're having games and you're wanting to do concessions or anything, are you able to do that?
So, I mean, that's one of the things we've been talking about. We have a meeting every week with all of the people that are, I guess you can call I guess you could call in the office of the organization. Mm-hmm. So we have a meeting every week, and we start dissecting these things that we could see as issues or potentially great things, and we try to work it out. But you're right, that is a problem with Kern Park. I mean, if you're trying to hold a professional event there, you could run into some problems. But at the same time, I think we do have the support of the community. Like, let's just say, for example, you have to have showers at the facility. We don't have that at Kern, so we can go and talk to a place around the city. I don't know. I can't say which one right now, but at the same time, we've talked to people that are willing to have the bus take the away players to take some showers and things like that. So we are making it a moment of a building moment, and we call it growing pains. And you're going to have a lot of that with an organization like this, I think.
The other teams in the league, is this a completely outdoor?
Yes.
League? So it's not as if there's an indoor facility anywhere that you go to. It's just all outdoor.
We were thinking about going and training over at the Iowa West play.
Yeah.
At Iowa West. They're open to it, from what I understand, just to get some extra reps in before season starts. And with this place here, the winter could go on a little bit longer, so you do have to
never
work
know.
with that.
Yeah, we've been lucky the last 2 or 3 years. It hasn't been bad.
I'm hoping that luck continues, man.
But
I really am.
There's been other winters that it's rough. So
right.
It's just however it's going to work out. So and at that point, when you're in an outdoor league trying to do something in the fall, is this as far north as this particular league has teams? I mean,
no, they have teams in Minnesota, Michigan.
Do? Okay.
They have teams well further north than us. I believe they're trying to work with Canada if they haven't already. So,
really?
Yeah. Canadian Premier League is amazing. I mean, it's a little bit, it's kind of like the MLS working out right now. Mm-hmm. But I believe in the growth of the sport, especially whenever I was with the United States men's national team for beach. That was the main emphasis, was let's grow the sport because we want to have a World Cup before we're dead, don't we? So, I mean, and who wouldn't want that?
Right.
That'd be a party.
I've, having grown up in this state and seeing the rise of popularity of soccer, because
Yeah.
it wasn't, it's always kind of been just a young person's game, and then once
Sure.
they got older, everything just kind of fizzled out, and there really wasn't much going on professionally. And then MLS came along, and I think that organization was run the league was run pretty well.
Yeah.
And I know Atlanta was selling out games.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
and there was a lot of excitement going to some of these games. So it's turned a corner, and people are starting to see that, once I get out of high school, or if I stop playing in college, there can be more past that.
That is the truth.
And that's, while it's been going on for a number of years, it's still, in the grand scheme of things, pretty young when you compare it to other sports.
Sure.
That option, that popularity is there.
One of the things that is really impressive about the league that we're in is we are the league that we're working with is they are one of the largest growing leagues in that sport, in soccer and football, soccer, whatever, in the northern hemisphere. They've grown North America, my fault, but they've grown exponentially. I mean, it's been a really good ride to see. Whenever I first heard of them, I was running the other semi-pro club over in Omaha, and it looked good, but nowadays it looks positive. And there's also a couple other leagues popping up that we do have options to work with. So we could be playing in 2 separate leagues in one season. So that would be really impressive.
Really?
Yeah, we really could. Yeah, just see, because that is the goal of us as an organization, is to expose these players and get them onto the right track to go to another organization, especially if it's going to be better than ours. I mean, if it's worse than us, then that's hard for you. But if you're getting a check, I mean,
if you're getting paid, then that's always everybody's goal.
Right.
Is to be good enough to actually be generating revenue
whenever you're an athlete.
Professional athlete.
It's one of the best feelings in the world, man. Trust me, it's awesome. It's one of the best.
I was just talking to somebody earlier today. My athleticism began and ended at track, and I was just middle of the road with that. Where I have always stood out was talking, and the first time that I got paid to talk, someone gave me a check to come and speak in front of them, which now makes me professional. It felt like I was stealing.
Yeah. It didn't feel that way for me, bud.
No.
I didn't feel like that at all. 5 a.m.s were rough. But at the same time, I do appreciate where you're coming from. I mean, because if you're doing something you love doing, you have to enjoy that for the moment, for sure.
Well, the name Captains, where did that come from?
That's a good question. So we, the Reavers, they're in this city, and I love the Reavers. They're the best. I mean, if you think about it, they have just about every single sport in each season goes to the national tournament.
Yeah, they're cranking national championships out of Iowa
Left and right.
Yeah,
dude,
even all the way down to shooting.
Right.
I mean, last year they're in Vegas and they come home with national championships.
Dude, I mean, it's a great university, especially if you're going to grow into a student athlete, because some people, it's hard. Just GPAs and things like that. Maybe you didn't go to a school where that was heavily promoted. I mean, you can come here and you can show your talents, and you can buckle down and you can work yourself into a good situation.
Yeah, so the Captains was kind of like a play off of the Reavers, because the Reavers it's a different way of kind of saying pirate.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were thinking, CB, it starts with a C. We were trying to figure out something that started with a C, something that would flow good. I think Council Bluffs Captains Football Club flows really good off the tongue.
And it does.
And it does. And so we worked with that, and then that wasn't the beginning. We had River Pirate, we had all kinds of stuff, because there is a heritage with that here in this city. We finally stumbled. Hey, captain. There has to be a captain of the ship, right? So that's kind of where we got that.
Well, I think that getting local players, obviously, that's huge, because that's what's going to generate interest. Right out of the gate, before people can identify with the team, they can identify with the players, because you got family, you got friends, you got people that, this guy went to school here, so we know,
right?
And so they're going to come and watch and that kind of thing. So that's obviously a great place to start, but then hoping that it's going to grow from there.
Sure.
And from right now, from what you're saying, it kind of sounds like you're kind of couch surfing.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's not. You don't really have a home.
Yeah.
You don't have a home place that you can say, okay, all of our home games we're playing here.
Sure.
We know that, and everything's settled, and
Yeah.
we can put together an entire event. So you're just kind of still working all of that stuff out.
In a sense, I mean, whenever it came to requirements, we were good with Kern. Whenever it came down to the things that we were working on and doing as a group, and talking with the people outside of the group to see if we could manifest this mentality. Yeah, it definitely looks like that, but we have a lot more structure than I think a lot of people see. I mean, yes, it would be great, to work at a very nice stadium. I think LC.
Yeah.
Yeah, have that big scoreboard and all that.
Yeah.
But
Wickersham, where
Wickersham's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I'd love it. But at the same time, getting involved with those groups and, working with that, if we can, that'd be great. We've reached out to those groups. I mean, they've said, okay, well, here's the list of things to do. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We can do that. And, we work it out, and it kind of gets into a, what are we doing now? So,
and plus they've got, these facilities are already catching a lot of use.
Yes.
So
yes.
finding a place and finding holes in schedules.
Yeah.
There, where Kern, nothing going
There's
on
nothing
at Kern.
going on at Kern.
Other than guys like me walking around the track.
Right.
There's nothing going on at Kern.
Well,
So-
and we can also pull in lighting systems for night games. We can do that. That's not that's a past issue that we've already resolved. So.
Is it, well, there is a parking hurdle to overcome playing at Kern too.
So whenever, and I get where you're coming from with that, and that's not, for me, that's not a big issue. Maybe it's because I spent a lot of time in Europe. I mean, if you're going to go to a game, you park on the street, or you park somewhere, or you walk to the train station, and then you're there. I mean, if you're going to watch guys run for 90 minutes straight plus, you can walk up a little hill. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that big a deal.
Quit your whine and go for a walk.
Just take a walk. It'll be all right. You're about to watch these kids bust themselves up over you. So.
Well, and I will say this too, that soccer players have to be the most athletic.
I think
just
we're ranked
because
as the best.
you're moving all the time.
It's a little bit more of a chess match than you think. I mean, because whenever the camera's on you, you're obviously moving because the
ball's there.
Exactly. So, I mean, things like that, of course, but you don't see the other six or whatever, right here and not on the screen. They're either walking to position, jogging to position. I mean, yes, they are moving a lot, but it is a lot more complex than just running a lot, because if you do that,
Right.
you're going to be done.
Well, I've broadcast high school soccer, and had no clue what I was talking about.
It's all right, but we're going to help you.
I know the difference between a goal kick and a corner kick. I know the
great.
difference there.
Growth is key.
That's
Growth is key.
about it.
It's all right. Hey, maybe you can come out and do one of our games. That'd be awesome.
That would be humbling.
It'd be cool. No. I mean, because that's one of the things we're trying to do. We're trying to get involved with just about everybody that we can within this community. Because without that, what are we doing? Yeah. I mean, if you have a community backing you, and you have people like you, working with us and things like that, that's one of the best things that we could ever ask for. I mean, if we have somebody behind us saying, hey, thumbs up.
Well, as the way technology is now, and you can go with, you could do a YouTube live and put a game on.
We've done that.
Yeah,
yeah, we've done that.
That's fairly simple. There's different ways of things that can be done, and to be able to then getting local businesses involved and that kind of thing. So
and the one thing is just after parties. Like we're people are going to want to go somewhere after the game. We haven't really touched too much on that with the local breweries and the local bars in the area, but we have. We've kind of hinted towards it, and I think we have a good group that we could pull from, and I think what we're going to do is just move around the city. It's not a huge city, but at the same time it deserves some love everywhere we can put it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what's the schedule then for the rest of the year? You've got games still to be played this fall?
So we're going to be playing out in La Vista, doing at the I don't remember the address, but we're going to be playing out there. It's a really big men's league. I mean, like I was saying earlier, the talent here is crazy good. It just depends on if you have people that are willing to potentially move for their job, which a lot of people are kind of stuck here. You know, not really stuck here, but they live here, they have roots here. So I think that's one of the things that, you know, that we are learning that we have to overcome. You don't have many young people that don't have massive ties here that want to actually grow and move away. But like I said, the talent here is amazing. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I mean, we have people coming in from 2 universities so far, and you know, a bunch of like random people that come around from 45 minutes away just to work with us.
Is there a age limit in the league?
So for us personally, 16 is the oldest that we're going to take, and that is with, if we go to an away game and if your parent can't come, you're going to have to stay home. 18 and up is generally what we work with, but we do have a few 16-year-olds running around.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's, as far as the upper end though, I mean, is it, I'm thinking like, you know, the hockey league that's in Omaha, the Omaha Lancers. That's a 20 and under league.
Yeah.
So you turn 21, you've aged out.
Sure.
But that's not the case with this. There's not a hard limit with
there's
it.
Not, like, I mean, if you're 35, 36, you know, I mean, you think you still have it and you want to work with us, that's fine. If you can keep up, that's the issue. I mean, I'm 34 right now, you know, I'm not going to go play with those boys. I'd be crushed. I have no standing in that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm rooting for this to work, because I think that the more outlets that we have here, and plus what you're doing too is you're bringing other teams here, so
correct.
It is it's a way to showcase our area to other places, because the teams are going to come, the fans are going to come, they're going to see part of the country that maybe they haven't seen before.
And maybe you'll get some people like me that end up moving here.
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
Like
I mean, it's very, you can see, you look around, it's very pretty out here.
It's not bad, man. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you,
and
I do love
this place. There's a cow right over there.
Hey, he's mooing, or she's mooing. Sorry, girl. But yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, there's one or two things that I do love about this place. There's a lot of things that I do enjoy about this place. Very few things that I don't like about this place.
Well, that's pretty much, you go anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere
you go, that's the way it's going to be. And my belief, and the point to this podcast and everything else that I'm doing professionally, is we want to put a spotlight on the positive.
Right.
Because I have a belief that the brighter that spotlight is on the positive, the less comfortable the negative is being around it.
Facts.
And so I want to do that. Now I know that negative gets the clicks. Negative, you know, that works. I've seen it. It does. You know, whether it be online or anywhere else, I don't want to swim in that pool.
No, who would?
You know, I would much rather talk about the positive things that are going on, and this is what you're doing, is one of the positive things. You
Thanks,
know, you come in
appreciate
here and
that.
you do this.
I do appreciate you.
This is Taylor Stanton, and it is the CB. Do you have a website?
Yeah, cbcaptainsfc.com.
cbcaptainsfc.com.
Yep.
So the schedule's up.
Schedule's out there on social media.
Yeah, schedule's up there, so they can find it either on cross social media or on the web or anywhere else, website or anywhere else, and be able to do it. All right, well, continued success and go out and win some games.
I do appreciate you.
And we will be back next week with another episode of Campfire Conversations. Until then.